Via Dolorosa. This is one of the stations of the cross. This is Damascus Gate. So it doesn't matter where you happen to find yourself in Jerusalem, if you do not actually walk through this old city, forgive me to say this, you haven't actually visited Jerusalem. Sometimes you hear people talking and laughing behind you, but don't worry, it's just a group passing. So I have just stopped at the train station called Damascus Gate. Now I am taking myself to the actual Damascus Gate where I can get into the old city and from there get to the Western Wall. Let me go this way. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Crackhead Exploration. In this video, I will be walking with you to the Western Wall through the Damascus Gate here in the old city of Jerusalem. Please, kindly stick with me as we walk through the narrow alleys of Damascus Gate. Now talking about the Western Wall, this wall, you see people praying, touching. Personally, I think it all boils down to faith, because for me, I never believed that I have to pray to God to be answered at a specific place. As you come before Damascus Gate, and for a moment, you are just in awe. Because this isn't just an entrance. It feels like the beginning of something. The stone towers above you. It is massive, weathered. Every block looks like it was placed with intention, carved not just by hands, but by time itself. There is a quiet power here, but it doesn't stay quiet for long, because the moment you step forward, the wall rushes in. This is Damascus Gate. I'm told to go all the way straight. Then I'm gonna get myself or find myself at the Western Wall. Sound hits you first. Voices layered over voices. Arabic calls from vendors. The echo of footsteps bouncing off ancient walls, the distant clang of metals, the hum of conversations, the rhythm of a place that has never fully stopped moving. You descend the steps and it feels symbolic, like you're leaving one wall behind and stepping into another. At the base, the market opens around you like a living organism. You don't just walk through it. You become part of it. Welcome to the arteries of the old city of Jerusalem. This is the old city market. There are not a lot of people right now because it's not the weekend and it is just 10 a.m. But if you want to see this place being crowded, then come here on Fridays, on Saturdays, and you're gonna find yourself a crowd of pilgrims, crowd of visitors, crowd of tourists in this old city through this Damascus Gate. The alleyways narrow, pulling you in. Stone walls rise on both sides, close enough to touch, close enough to feel their temperature shift as sunlight fades into shadow. Above you, a tangled web of wires, fabrics and signs stretches from wall to wall, filtering the light into soft, broken patterns that dance across the ground. Every step forward reveals something new. Spices arranged in perfect pyramids, deep reds, burnt oranges, golden yellows. The scent hits you instantly. Cumin, paprika, turmeric, thick, warm, almost intoxicating. A few steps later, the smell changes. Fresh bread, sesame, something sweet baking in the background. Vendors lock eyes with you. They smile, gesturing you toward their stands, saying something you don't quite catch, but you understand the meaning. This place doesn't need translation. It speaks in energy, it speaks in motion and in presence. As you keep walking, the crowd shifts constantly. Tourists, locals, children weaving through gaps that doesn't seem to exist. You see people pushing carts loaded with goods, calling out for space. You press slightly to the side, your shoulder brushing against cool stone, and then you realize something. These stones have felt this before for centuries. You're walking a path that has been walked by millions. Traders, pilgrims, soldiers, dreamers, people just like you, and people completely different. And yet, somehow all of it exists here at once. Jerusalem District Electricity Company Limited, office of the old city, al-Amud. So here you come to pay for your light bills, your electricity bills. As you move deeper, the light dims as the alley tightens. For a moment, it almost feels like night, even though you know the sun is still high above. A single beam of light cuts through a gap overhead, illuminating dust particles floating slowly in the air like tiny fragments of time itself. The noise is still there, but it's changing. It's becoming distant. Not quite exactly, but less chaotic, more rhythmic, more controlled, like the city is slowly guiding you somewhere. On very busy days, especially on weekends, you don't rush. You can't because of the crowd. Some shops display intricate lanterns, glass in shades of blue, green, red. Even unlit, they glow softly, reflecting fragments of light across the stone walls. And of course, you cannot not see security. All the way, Kotel. Thank you. Armenian Catholic Patriarchate. Next to it, scarves hanging in layers, moving slightly as air passes through the alley. Sometimes you hear people talking and laughing behind you, but don't worry, it's just a group passing. Their energy, though brief but noticeable, then it fades, replaced by the steady cadence of footsteps and murmurs. And that's when you begin to feel it. You feel the shift. It is subtle at first, the kind of thing you almost miss if you're not paying attention. But something is pulling you forward, not physically. There is no force, there is no push, but internally, something is drawing you deeper, guiding your steps through the maze without needing a map. Via Dolorosa, this is one of the Stations of the Cross. To those of you who are Christians and are familiar with the story of Jesus taking up his cross to be crucified. This was one of the stations, I think, and this was where Simon of Cyrene held him. This happens to be Station 5. Let's keep going, because that's not what we came for today. That was just by the way. The market begins to loosen its grip. The stalls thin out. The alley opens slightly. The ceiling above rises just enough to let more light in. You notice more stone, less clutter, more space between sounds, and then, for a brief moment, there is silence. Not complete silence though, but enough that you notice it. You hear your own footsteps more clearly now. The rhythm of your breathing, the soft shuffle of others walking the same direction. Because now, it's not just you. Everyone is moving forward. Different people, different reasons, but the same direction. And you understand why. Because ahead of you, something is waiting. Hotel. If you happen to visit Jerusalem without walking through this old city, you can never say your visit is complete, because this is actually the feeling you get when you visit the old city. What feeling am I talking about? The feeling of, feeling, feeling is all the feeling. So I'm talking about the feeling of feeling that you are actually, walking 4,000 years ago, or the time of the Crusades, or the time of even Jesus Christ. That's the feeling you get. So it doesn't matter where you happen to find yourself in Jerusalem. If you do not actually walk through this old city, forgive me to say this, you haven't actually visited Jerusalem. However, if you visit the old city in Jerusalem and you haven't visited other places, yes, you have visited Jerusalem, because walking through the old city is the Jerusalem you need to be. As you turn a corner, everything changes. You get to the security where everyone and everything is checked before you can get to the Western Wall Plaza. And that is where I switch off my camera to get through. Right, I think I just got to the security checkpoint to go to the hotel. I would now have to switch off the camera. See you guys on the other side. So I have just passed through security, and right here we're welcomed to the Western Wall. See here it reads, "Welcome to the Western Wall, a remnant of the temple. Request the welfare of Jerusalem. May those who love you enjoy tranquility. May there be peace in your wall, tranquility in your palaces." So, welcome to the Western Wall. The space opens suddenly, dramatically, as if the city itself has stepped back to reveal something greater. The plaza of the Western Wall stretches out before you. After the tight, winding alleys, it feels almost unreal. Open sky, white stone ground, space to breathe, and there it is, the wall. Massive doesn't even begin to describe it. Each stone is enormous, ancient, weathered, perfectly imperfect. Some are smooth from centuries of touch. Others are rough, marked by time, marked by history, by moments that can't be undone. You stop walking. You don't even realize it at first, but your body just pauses, because this isn't something you just pass by. This is something you feel. The noise here is different. It is softer, lower, more intentional. Murmured prayers, quiet conversations, the gentle rustle of pages turning, the occasional sound of people praying, not loudly, not dramatically, just honestly. People stand close to the wall, some with their heads bowed, others with their hands pressed against the stone, some reading, some whispering, some saying nothing at all. You take a step forward, then another. The ground beneath you feels heavier somehow, not physically but emotionally, like every step carries weight. You approach the stones. Up close they feel even bigger. You notice the cracks, filled with small pieces of paper, thousands of them. Prayers, wishes, hopes, regrets, gratitude, humanity folded into tiny squares. You reach out your hand. There is a moment just before you touch the stone where everything seems to slow down, and then contact. The stone is cool, solid, it is real. And in that instant, everything else fades. The market, the noise, the journey, it all leads here. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to understand everything. You just stand there, hand against stone, part of something that has existed long before you and will continue long after. Time feels different here. Minutes stretch. Thoughts come and go. You might close your eyes, you might not. But either way, you feel it. You feel the connection, not just to the place, but to the countless people who have stood exactly where you're standing. Different languages, different lives, same moment. Eventually, you step back. Not because you have to, but because something inside you tells you it is time. You turn slightly, looking back at the plaza, at the people, at the space you just crossed. And then, without needing to think about it, you glance back one more time at the Western Wall, because something about it stays with you. The walk from Damascus Gate through the winding veins of the old city of Jerusalem wasn't just a route, it was a transformation. From noise to stillness, from movement to meaning, from the outside world to something deeper. And as you stand there, breathing in the air of Jerusalem, you realize something quietly powerful. You didn't just walk through the city, you walked through time. As you make your way back to Damascus Gate, you take one last look at the Western Wall. Not a long look, not dramatic, just enough. Because something about this place doesn't ask you to stay, it stays with you. You turn around, and just like that, the journey reverses. But it doesn't feel the same. The white plaza begins to shrink behind you with every step. The open sky, the stillness, the quiet murmurs of prayer, they slowly fade as you move toward the narrow passages ahead after passing through security. The contrast is immediate. You're stepping out of stillness back into motion. The entrance to the alleys of the old city of Jerusalem pulls you in again, but now it feels different, familiar yet changed, like you've seen something you can't unsee. The first few steps echo, stone beneath your feet, walls rising on both sides. The light begins to break apart again into strips and shadows, and then the sound returns. At first it is faint, a distant murmur, then voices, then movement, then everything all at once. The market is alive again, but now you're not entering it for the first time. You're passing through it with something behind your eyes, something you didn't have before. The same narrow alleys stretch ahead, the same shops line the walls, the same scents fill the air, spices, coffee, baked bread. But everything feels slightly slower. The crowd thickens. You adjust your pace without thinking, weaving slightly left, then right, stepping aside as someone passes, then slipping back into the flow. It's almost instinctive now. You have become part of it, but inside, you're still carrying that quiet. It hasn't left you yet. And that contrast, it sharpens everything. The calls of vendors feel louder now, more alive, more human. Come, come, my friend. A hand might gesture toward a stand filled with souvenirs. You smile slightly, maybe nod, maybe keep moving. There is no pressure, it's just part of the rhythm. You pass under a low arc. For a moment, the space tightens again. The walls feel closer, the air cooler. Your footsteps echo more sharply here. and then you emerge again into a slightly wider stretch of the alley. The flow continues, but something interesting happens. The deeper you move away from the western wall, the more the wall begins to reclaim your attention. Details pull at you again. You keep walking. The alleys begin to feel more familiar now. Turns that once felt confusing now feel almost intuitive. You recognize a shop you passed earlier, a corner that seemed significant, a wall that caught your attention. Time falls in on itself here. Moments overlap. It feels like you've been here before, even if it was just an hour ago. The light ahead grows stronger. You don't see the gate yet, but you feel it. The air shifts slightly. The space begins to open. The density of the market changes, feeling just enough to signal that you're approaching an exit. And then you hear it, the outside wall. A different kind of noise, less contained, less layered, more open. Cars, distant horns. The wider rhythm of the modern city pressing in from beyond the ancient walls. You take a few more steps, and suddenly there it is. Damascus Gate rises in front of you again, massive, unmoving, just as it was when you first entered. But now, you're different. You climb the steps this time. Each step upward feels like a return, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. You're leaving the maze behind, the layers of history, the narrow paths that force you to slow down, to observe, to feel. And as you reach the top, the city opens up around you. And I'm back to Damascus Gate, where I got in from. Wow, it looks like it's gonna be raining heavily today. The sky is not happy. The sky is really not happy at all. Modern world rushes back in. Cars pass. People move quickly. Conversations shift. The rhythm is faster here, more direct, less reflective. You pause for a moment at the top of the gate and you look back. Not for long, just enough to catch a glimpse of the path you came from, the narrow entrance, the shadows beyond, the hidden world that now feels both distant and incredibly close because you know what's inside. You've walked it. From the quiet power of the Western Wall, through the living, breathing arteries of the old city of Jerusalem, and back out into the present moment. And something about that journey stays with you, even as you turn away, even as you step fully back into the noise, the movement, the everyday flow of life. There is a part of you that remains in those alleys, in the echoes of footsteps on stone, in the filtered light above, in the quiet space between noise and silence. You take a breath and then you move on. But now every sound feels a little sharper. Every movement feels a little more intentional. Every moment feels just a little more real, because Jerusalem doesn't show you where you are. It shows you how to see. When was the last time you walked through Damascus Gate in the old city of Jerusalem? How did you feel? Please feel free to let us know in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Until we meet again in the next video. Bye for now. It feels like I'm in the Garden of Gethsemane, but this is not the Garden of Gethsemane. This is just a garden close to the old city. And the reason I'm here is because I just want to chill, before I take myself back home. As usual, it was nice being in Jerusalem, and the light rail as usual is doing its job, and that's what I'm gonna be hopping on. Not on this very one, but one of these. Gonna hop on this, get to the central bus station where I'm gonna take the train back to Tel Aviv. For now, let me just chill 5-10 minutes, rest, and then I'm gonna take myself home.